Hi, I'm Karen Donzel, and I've been an animal lover since I was very young and volunteering at my local SPCA. I can remember dogs and cats being brought into the shelter after being abused, and it was very sad to see. Sometimes the animal had to be euthanized if the abuse was really bad, but even when they were able to get a second chance, the emotional scars were so bad that the shelter had a hard time placing them into different homes. Over the years, I've seen animal abuse. I watch Animal Planet police shows, and I know someone who's an animal abuse officer. I feel that the punishment for abusers of animals is not consistent, and that those who choose to abuse animals should face harsher punishment so that they will not be repeat offenders. I want to persuade each of you that the punishment for animal abusers should be taken more seriously and be harsher and more consistent so that the number of cases will begin to decline. There are approximately 13,950 cases listed in the Animal Abuse Database as of August 2008. Many times, the abuser barely gets a slap on the wrist and ends up as a repeat offender. According to Lori Javier and Michael McDermott, both animal abuse officers, there are two categories of abuser cruelty. One is passive cruelty, which includes starvation, dehydration, not having adequate shelter, not seeking medical attention when needed, parasite infestation, or allowing collars to become embedded into an animal's flesh. Normally, the punishment for this includes classes to teach them how to properly care for animals, and in the more severe cases, the animal is removed from the owner and they can be ordered to never own a pet again. Active cruelty is where the intent was malicious or deliberate. That means that someone intentionally causes harm to an animal. According to animalabuse.com, they consider this a serious psychological problem. They also explain that in many cases, if a parent or a domestic partner is abusive, they may kill or threaten to kill pets in order to intimidate family members into sexual abuse or to torture the victim. The punishment for those who choose to abuse animals, in my opinion, not harsh enough. And it's inconsistent from state to state or even case to case. There are only 6 states that do not consider animal abuse or cruelty a felony. Those are Arkansas, Mississippi, North Carolina, Rhode Island, and South Dakota. Fines throughout the U.S. range from $1,000 with a maximum jail time of 6 months to 2 years, depending on the state, and they can go up to $500,000 and 6 years in jail in Colorado. Maybe if people took animal abuse as serious in all the other states as they do in Colorado, the number of cases would decrease. Abuse and neglect against any living thing to me is a horrific crime and should be punished accordingly. Laws should be more harsh in order to protect defenseless animals. Whether an animal is beaten, starved, or forced to fight another animal, sometimes to their death, it is abuse and it's illegal, period. Only a small number of cases make it to the public eye, and those seem to be the only ones who actually get the punishment that they deserve. Unfortunately, that's where the inconsistency comes into play. There should be set laws that carry a certain amount of jail time, and each person who breaks these laws should pay the same price. What can you do to help prevent animal abuse? Well, there are several things that you can do, starting with taking care of your own pets. When you choose to bring an animal into your home, you are taking on a huge responsibility. They will be totally dependent on you to feed them, keep up their shots, get them medical attention when needed, and to make sure that they have shelter in the ever-changing weather conditions. Have your pet spayed or neutered to keep the population controlled. You can also donate either your time or money to animal shelters so that the animals that live there can be taken care of. If you suspect or know of animal abuse, call your local SPCA and report it. Many people don't want to get involved, but it only takes a few minutes, and you can do this anonymously. And more important, you may save the life of an animal who otherwise may not have a chance. Whether or not you agree that the punishment should be harsher for animal abusers, I hope we all agree on one thing. Animal abuse and neglect is a horrible crime that needs to be stopped. If you have a pet in your home, the next time you're sitting there holding them, remember that there are about 13,950 animals out there who are not as lucky as your pet. Do your part to prevent animal abuse and get involved if possible to change the law so that anyone who makes a choice to abuse an animal will pay for their crime. Thank you.